3, 4. Burn it down! Burn it down! Burn it down!
All right, another Saturday night, and no matter why you're here, we're glad to see you here with us on Toronto, Ontario, Canada, for tonight's Saturday night at Ringside Live. Fans, welcome to our Rwl Sn Rl. I'm Wally Cardill, here in the broadcast booth with my co-hosts Johnny Bianco and General Manager Hangman Tex Lynch with the call of tonight's action. Give the nice people at home more information, GB.
Thanks, Wally, and good evening, fans. Trying to be quick and specific, but here goes. To name just a few, we'll see the Mountie-facing Sergeant Slaughter, those crummy sectarians Papa Shango and Boogeyman are back in tag action. Alve Gigante has a new tag team partner, and we'll be meeting him for the first time. And in the title matches section, Rockin' Robin challenges Liberty Belle Danielle for the Snarl Women's title, plus lots more. And a few surprises too, because it wouldn't be Snarl without a few surprises.
And everybody loves a good surprise. We're starting off with one. The Snarl Tag Team Champions, the Freak and the Wild Thing, the Psychedelics. They've had it on the back burner, but they're putting it back front and center against the Guns brothers, Eddie and Ray.
They've wrestled a few times already, with or without the belts at stake. Why are we doing this one again, Tex?
Hush, the feud ain't settled. Let Buck Norton do his job.
Toronto wrestling fans, welcome to our Rwl Sn Rl. Our non-title opening contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by Sylvia Strong, at a combined weight of 470 pounds, the Snarl Tag Team Champions, the Freak and the Wild Thing, Wayne Tape, the Psychedelics.
Now, my dear Watson, the case is not yet declared closed and can only be declared closed by the master detectives working the case. What I mean is the Guns brothers ain't satisfied, and neither are the Freak and the Wild Thing.
Plus, the Guns brothers are old masters at carrying a grudge. Don't get into a feud with the Guns family unless you have about a year to dedicate to the thing.
That sounds about fair.
Their opponents, accompanied by the lovely Miss Rossi Flowers, at a combined weight of 477 pounds, Mr. Ringside Eddie Guns, and El Happy Ray Guns, the Guns Brothers.
It has been a couple of weeks since we last saw everybody's favorite antisocial anti-heroes, the Guns brothers, Eddie and Ray, accompanied by Ray's lovely Miss Rossi Flowers this evening, with Women's International Champion Angie Angel Guns scheduled to appear tonight in a non-title matchup. So, Miss Rossi Flowers gets the trick at ringside against the Freak and the Wild Thing, and here we go again. I don't think this feud might ever be settled. Well, all right, as the gentleman choose up side, it's going to be Wild Thing Wayne taking Mr. Ringside, starting off this one. Opening up tonight's card in Toronto, here we go. Willie Johnson rings the bell. Wild Thing gets a hold of the wrong person, and down goes the referee. And Mr. Ringside, well, I'm not sure what that was about. Eddie Guns gets a hold of the Wild Thing, starts yanking his arm against the top rope. There's a knee. Wild Thing counters. They lock up. Oh, man, spinebuster from Wild Thing Wayne Tate. Takes himself up to the middle rope. Crossbody. And right across the chest of Eddie Guns. A stomp to the shoulder from the Wild Thing. Oh, was trying for the mounted punches, but Mr. Ringside counters. Wild Thing back up. Clothesline. Takes down Mr. Ringside. Wild Thing with a kick. A left. Gets a hold of him and a headbutt. Oh, man. Wild Thing steps out. Here comes the Freak on the tag. Mr. Ringside still laid out from that headbutt from Wild Thing Wayne Tate. Oh, double knee stomp. A rebound off the ropes, a moonsault from the Freak. The Freak rolls Eddie Guns over, goes for the cover, and hooks the leg right away. One. And just a one. Barely just a one at that. The Freak takes himself back up to the top turnbuckle. Mr. Ringside ain't moved. Oh, a knee right across the chest. Followed up with another stomp. The Freak rounds him up. Eddie Gunn sweeps the leg. Follows that up with a stomp. Rebounds off the rope. Says, look, I can do a moonsault too. Huh. Here comes El Jefe Ray Guns on the tag. Wild Thing gets a hold of him. Starts driving knees into the midsection of El Jefe Ray Guns, who counters, gets back up on his feet. Rounds up the Freak. Look at this, here we go, the rebound off the ropes, and here's the Whirlicane Rana as the Freak takes a ride towards center ring. Ray Guns follows that up with a kick. El Jefe pretty much firing on all cylinders right now. The Guns brothers, generally speaking, in control of this matchup. The Freak trying to really take a pounding here. There's the head scissors from El Jefe. The Freak finds his way out of the hold, gets back up to a standing position. El Jefe opens up with a series of shots. There's a snap mirror and a kick to the back. The Freak back up, knee to the skull for El Jefe Ray Guns. Sylvia Strong, confident as usual. Well, GB, she is the Genshiest, huh? All right. The Freak yanking on the arm of El Jefe. Locks him up, hip, turns him around. Oh, El Jefe turns it around on the Freak. Gets him in the, blind tag from Wild Thing Wayne Tig. He just sauntered in like, well, nothing happened. El Jefe with a scoop slam on Wild Thing Wayne Tig. Goes back after the Freak anyway. Returns his attention to Wayne Tig. Whips him out onto the apron. There's a hard right and a kick right to the chest. And then Zaguri from El Jefe Ray Guns, who goes after the Freak again, tags him with a right. Tries to bring on, look, hung him up off the middle rope. The Freak out on the floor. Wild Thing out here to make him pay. El Jefe with a kick to the midsection and a kick to the back. Yeah, the Guns brothers looking very much in control of things. Wow. El Jefe nails the Wild Thing with the Whirlicane Rana too. Makes his way to the corner, tags in Mr. Ringside, Rossi Flowers. Just enjoying the whole show here. Mr. Ringside, a little bit of sauntering right there. Wild Thing Wayne Tig doesn't see it coming. There's the charge, a kick right to the face. Back up on his feet, gets a hold of Eddie Guns. Gut wrench suplex from the Wild Thing. And here comes the Freak on the tag. A series of hard shots from the Freak and a kick takes Mr. Ringside down. He quickly counters, gets back up on his feet. Beats it out of town, hands it over to Ray Guns. Well, now. Whoa! Flying kick from El Jefe. The Freak on the ropes. Quickly counters, gets a hold of El Jefe Ray Guns, has him up over the shoulders. Hangs him up, oh no, wait a minute. Discus punch. My eyes were playing tricks on me there. The Freak with a series of wrist clutch kicks. Now gonna slow down the pace a little bit and wear down El Jefe Ray Guns in the process. Torturing both arms and then driving both knees into the back of Ray Guns. The Freak rounds him up by the wrist. There's a knee right to the head again. Ray Guns back up to his feet as Wild Thing Wayne Tig gets tagged in. Charges, whoa! Walk right into that one, Wild Thing. With that spinning slam. Drives Ray Guns' knee into the canvas. Wild Thing takes himself up to the top turnbuckle in his team's corner. El Jefe slowly making his way to a standing position here. And here we go. Whoa, man, well, that did not work out. Wild Thing Wayne Tig misjudged the distance on that one. Slam El Jefe down. I guess the wrist move didn't work out well now. El Jefe counters with a series of elbows. Wild Thing counters, gets a hold of him. El Jefe counters with a kick. Ray Guns rounds up the Wild Thing into a Hurricane Rana. And momentum has definitely slipped the hell away. Here's a moonsault from El Jefe Ray Guns on the Wild Thing. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3, and that's a wrap. The Guns brothers pick up a win over the Freak and the Wild Thing.
The time, 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Your winners by pinfall, the Guns Brothers.
Well, I'm going to have to look at that one again, but it sure looked like Wild Thing Wayne Take reached out for the bottom rope, and the eagle eye of Willie Johnson just didn't see it. The Guns Brothers steal one from the Snarl Tag Team Champions. Oh, man. Oh, sorry about that, GB. We'll be back with more RWL Snarl right after the break. Stick around. Alright, well, up next, a little bit of Legends Division competition as the Mountie rejoins us once again. This time, set to lock it up one-on-one against one half of the Legends TV Tag Champions, Sergeant Slaughter.
The following Legends Division contest is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing 256 pounds, please be upstanding for the Mountie.
And there's that one jerk in the cheap seats that just stood up. Oh, man. The Mountie back with us again. 0-2 so far. Face Mr. Kennedy and the Big Boss Man, and this week, going to be Sergeant Slaughter.
I'm not very optimistic for him, Tex. The Mountie standing at 0-2, dropping 2. Very quick matches to Ken Kennedy and the Big Boss Man, respectively. What's his chance against one half of the Legends Tag Champs, though?
He's got 2 chances, Wally. Slim and none. But, never say never around here. You know how we do. And do we have to play the entire Canadian national anthem?
And his opponent from Paris Island, South Carolina, weighing 305 pounds, one half of the Legends TV Tag Champions, here is Sergeant Slaughter. Toronto crowd giving Sarge a warm welcome. Certainly warmer than the Mountie got. And that's got to get under his skin. Sarge making the scene tonight without the Patriots standing ringside. Guess the Sarge saw no need to have any sort of backup at ringside for this encounter with the Mountie. I sure hope he's not expecting anything like honorable conduct from the Mountie, because he's only fooling himself if he is.
He's going to be mighty disappointed when he finds out that Monty doesn't do honorable conduct. Alright, both these boys came looking like they're ready to go to work, so let's not keep them waiting. Referee Walt Rothburn sounds the bell. Here we go. Well, the Mountie opens up with a shot. Sarge counters. They lock up. Sarge gets the Mountie into that far corner. The referee going to have to break this one up. Gets in between them. Got a nice clean break and everything. Okay, here we go. Sarge counters with a right. Gets a hold of the Mountie. Whips him to the corner. He rebounds out. Sarge gets a hold of him again, front cradle, but the Mountie counters with elbows to the side of the head. Sarge locks him up. The Mountie with a headlock on Sergeant Slaughter. Sarge locked in pretty good here. Sarge shoves him, whips him to the ropes, ducks under. Oh, the Mountie counters with an overhand right. Gets a hold of the Sarge, has him up, takes him right back down again. Classic wrestling takedown. There's a stomp to the leg of Sergeant Slaughter. The Mountie with a kick to the midsection. Sarge puts on the brakes, gets back up on his feet, counters into a dragon screw. Sergeant Slaughter with a kick to the chest of the Mountie. Drops an elbow right across the chest. Sarge moves right in, well, trying to deprive the Mountie of a little bit of air here. Goes for the cover and hooks the leg right away. One, and barely just a one. The Mountie shaking that one off pretty quick. The Mountie with a kick to the midsection, charges. Double axe handle takes Sarge down to the canvas. Followed up with a stomp. Sergeant Slaughter across center ring in a Cobra clutch here. Sergeant Slaughter battling his way out, slips through the back door, takes the Mountie down to the canvas too. Nicely done. Sarge whips the Mountie to the corner. There's a clothesline to the back of the head. Sarge rounds him up. A back body drop, quick counter from the Mountie. Couple of hard rights. Sarge in the corner, counters and escapes the corner, takes down the Mountie with a clothesline. Rounds him up. Hard whip back into the corner again, but the Mountie counters this time. Sarge counters with a kick to the leg, turns the Mountie around, rakes the back. Sergeant Slaughter not going to play around with the likes of the Mountie. An elbow to the shoulder, a chop across the chest. Sarge has him up, tags him with a knee breaker. Sergeant Slaughter working the crowd here in Toronto, and they're just loving it. The Mountie turned over by Sarge, drives a knee into the mat. Sergeant Slaughter drags the Mountie towards center ring, goes for the cover and hooks the leg here. 1, 2, but just barely a 2. Sergeant Slaughter having to go back to work again. Whoa! Quick counter from the Mountie and a hip toss that takes Sarge down to the canvas. The Mountie trying to work the crowd here. A head scissors, a couple of hard shots to the head of Sergeant Slaughter. The Mountie back up to a standing position. Gets a hold of the Sarge. Here's a clothesline. Sarge swings and misses, rebounds off the ropes, into a back body drop from the Mountie. The Mountie urging the Sarge to come on in. Boom! Spinebuster. Well, now, another quick set of counter moves from the Mountie. A set of quick jabs. The Mountie winds it up. There's a hard right. Takes Sarge down to the canvas. Sarge still puts on the brakes. Counters the kick into a dragon screw. Back up on his feet, clubbing right to the head of the Mountie. Sarge gets a hold of him. Vertical suplex. Nicely done. Sarge drags the Mountie center ring, and he's bleeding already, but he's rounding up support from these fans. 1. Just man. The Mountie shaking off another pin attempt from Sergeant Slaughter. An arm drag from the Mountie. The Mountie, whoa, swings and misses. He had a foreign object. Sergeant Slaughter catches an elbow from the Mountie. A kick to the midsection. Sarge backs him up. They collide with no result. The Mountie counters the kick. Sarge gets a hold of him. Does a knee into the midsection of the Mountie. Well, now things turn south pretty quick here. Elbow across the chest from Sergeant Slaughter. Sarge covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2. Shut up. Oh, just keeping the Mountie going. Sergeant Slaughter catches a shot to the midsection from the Mountie. Sarge counters. Drop toe hold to the Mountie from Sergeant Slaughter. Well, now this one's gone back and forth quite a bit, huh? Sarge with the rear chin lock. Locked in on the Mountie, but the Mountie counters, escapes the hold. Sarge catches a kick to the midsection from the Mountie. The Mountie has him up. Sergeant Slaughter with elbows to the side of the head. Moves in. Whips the Mountie towards the far corner. The Mountie counters and escapes the corner. Kick to the midsection to the Sarge. He's got him up. All the way up into, oh man, a running power bomb. Sarge went down hard. The Mountie covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. That is it. This one's all over.
The time, 5 minutes and 48 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, the Mountie.
Well, guys, looks like we got our first unexpected upset win of the evening. The Mountie picking up a pinfall win over Sergeant Slaughter, and, well, I damn sure didn't have that on my bingo card.
I'm sure none of us did. I had Sarge freezing through this one, practically phoning it in. But note, he and the Mountie went at it like the legends they are. But the Mountie, still managing to use a foreign object as a distraction instead of just a weapon, and ends up swiping this win away from the Sarge for the 3-count pinfall win.
No way is Sergeant Slaughter gonna let this one stand. I'm calling it right now. We're going to see a rematch between those two for sure. Okay, fans, we saw the Guns brothers in the card opener tonight, and up next, the daughters of El Jefe and the nieces of Mr. Ringside, Josie Rod and Lisa Rivera, Las Reinas, in tag team action tonight against the UK ladies when we return after the break.
Oh, Las Reinas, huh? Oh, man, I really like them. Folks, we'll be back right after these short messages. Hope to see you here when we get back.
As we continue up next, Josie Rod and Lisa Rivera, Las Reinas, back with us again tonight. And they're locking it up with Grace Fenwick and Jessica Goldman, the notorious UK ladies.
I'm kind of intrigued by Las Reinas. I want to see what they do tonight against the UK ladies.
The following ladies' tag team contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by Women's International Champion Angie Angel Guns from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Josie Rod and Lisa Rivera, Las Reinas.
For you nosy Parkers, that's Lisa Rivera on the left of your screen, and that's Josie Rod on the right. Las Reinas, the daughters of El Jefe Ray Guns, hence the nieces of Mr. Ringside Eddie Guns, and the grandnieces of Angie Angel Guns. Man, they really do have cousins by the dozens, don't they, guys?
They've been pretty impressive in their first few matches. The Future Endeavor, Blonde Ambition, and Kaden and Katana have all taken pinfall losses at the hand of Josie and Lisa. You can deny lots of stuff in wrestling, but the Guns family genetics when it comes to ring knowledge have certainly been passed down to these two from El Jefe. How are they gonna deal with the extra sadistic Grace Fenwick and Jessica Goldman, the UK ladies?
And it's Crazy Eddie's Christmas in August. His prizes are insane.
Their opponents from Sussex, England, Grace Fenwick, and from Sydney, Australia, Jessica Goldman, the UK. Jessica and Grace come into this one in bad moods tonight. Grace Fenwick, of course, still hurting and embarrassed by being the first elimination in the ladies for Way at Rage Monday night. And, well, there's rumors round the locker room that Jessica Goldman and Balor Jack may be on the outs. I don't have anything else, and what I got came from Frankie Picone and Marta Gordon of Power and Beauty. When and if I get more, I'll be sure to share it with you.
You've turned into a regular backstage gossipy yenta, haven't you, GB? I love you.
Love you to boss. Now get to work.
All right, as the ladies choose up sides, it's going to be Lisa Rivera and Grace Fenwick starting off this ladies tag team matchup. Referee Walt Rothburn. Sounds the bell. They come center ring. Off the ropes, flying punch from Grace Fenwick to Lisa Rivera. Lisa gets right back up. Grace Fenwick right there with a clothesline. Takes her down. Hanging off the ropes and everything. Grace Fenwick gets a hold of Lisa. Whips her to her team's corner. Grace Fenwick rapes the leg over the middle rope, delivers a kick to the calf. Fenwick gets a hold of Lisa again. Axe kick. Takes her down to the canvas. Grace Fenwick must really be enjoying the way Lisa Rivera suffers, because she's having a good time in there. A stomp to the shoulder. Takes herself around. Delivers a kick to the back. And here comes Jessica Goldman. As Lisa Rivera steps out for a moment. Snaps two, gets her act back together, gets herself back in the ring. Jessica Goldman, right there, delivers another axe kick to the head of Lisa Rivera. And while she's showboating, here comes Josie Rod. And Jessica don't see her coming. Knee to the head of Jessica Goldman. Down she goes like a chopped down tree. Josie follows up with a stomp to the shoulder. Jessica Goldman finding herself in a bit of trouble right away. Here we go. A painful rocking leg lock from Josie Rod. Josie gets a hold of Jessica Goldman. Escorts her to the far right corner. Head first into the turnbuckle she goes. Josie yanking on the arm, using the ropes for leverage. Jessica Goldman catches the right, catches the second, a third, a fourth, a fifth. Well, now Jessica Goldman goes down in the corner, and Josie playing a little bit of chokey with Jessica Goldman. Deep dish Chicago-style denial. Hey, I didn't do anything. Okay. Oh, man. What a shot. Right there. Oh, man. I can't believe she's still moving. Jessica Goldman taking a hard shot from Josie Rod here. Josie with a hard right to Goldman. A second one, and down she goes. Josie turning her attention to Grace Fenwick. Delivers her a couple of rights. Gets a hold of her hair. Drags her in over the top rope. A clubbing overhand right to Grace Fenwick as Lisa Rivera is tagged in. Jessica Goldman comes back inside the ring. A knee to the head from Jessica to Lisa. Lisa rounded up by Jessica Goldman. A boot to the face. And down she goes. Goldman going for a cover here. One, but just barely a one. Lisa Rivera powering out of the pin, catches a kick. Josie tags her with a forearm. Jessica gets a hold of her. Lisa Rivera catches another axe kick. Now Jessica Goldman opens up with a series of wrist clutch kicks to Lisa Rivera. And the tide begins to turn, slow but steady, towards the UK ladies. Couple of knees to the back from Jessica Goldman to Lisa Rivera. Lisa counters with a kick, gets back up on her feet. Delivers a stomp to Jessica Goldman. Goldman catches another to the shoulder. A double boot stomp right to the midsection of Jessica Goldman. Lisa Rivera knocks her up, pitches her into her team's corner. Here comes Josie on the tag, and here comes a double team from Las Reinas. Hard shot to the ribs from Josie. Josie gets a hold over from behind into an abdominal stretch here. But Jessica Goldman counters, gets a crucifix going, and drops Josie right on her head. Running kick takes Josie Rod down. Jessica Goldman flips her to her team's corner, tags in Grace Fenwick, and a double team shot from the UK ladies as Grace Fenwick takes over for her team. Josie hung up on the top rope by Grace Fenwick. Grace opens up with a series of hard right hands, followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Now goes back, delivers a series of lefts. Also followed up with another stomp to the midsection. Grace Fenwick having herself a grand old time here. Josie whipped to the ropes. Grace Fenwick ducks under. Josie puts on the brakes, delivers a hard gut shot to Grace Fenwick. Fenwick rounded up by Josie. Got her up for the vertical suplex, a nice long one too. Josie starts raining right hands on the head of Grace Fenwick. Grace Fenwick finding herself in a little bit of trouble here. Josie rounds her up. Discus punch takes Grace Fenwick down to the canvas again. And Josie Rivera delivers the parting shot, takes herself out and lifts in Lisa. Lisa Rivera moving in on a laid out Grace Fenwick. Another double boot stomp to the midsection. Jessica Goldman with a cheap shot on Lisa. Lisa turns her attention back to Grace Fenwick, turns her attention back to Jessica Goldman, takes herself out to the outside on the apron with her, and boom, drops her right across the lip of the apron and chop blocks Grace Fenwick. Well, damn. Lisa Rivera, the house on fire here, rounds up Grace, gets her back inside the ring. Grace back up on her feet. Angie Angel Guns just having a great time here. Grace Fenwick opens up with a series of shots. Takes Lisa down to one knee. Hard forearm. Takes her down all the way. Grace Fenwick is mad. Oh, yeah, definitely provoked. Most definitely provoked. Grace Fenwick doing a little showing off for the fans in Toronto. Lisa Rivera laid out in the far corner. Grace misses with the kick. Lisa whips her over the top rope out onto the floor, and she rolls out hard. Lisa rolls out after her. Hey, wait a minute, changed her mind. Decided against it, gonna go after Jessica Goldman instead. Brings her in over the top rope, a clubbing overhand right to Jessica Goldman. Lisa catches a knee to the head from Grace Fenwick. Fenwick goes to work, unloads with a couple of lefts on the head of Lisa. Followed up with a stomp, turns her attention to Josie. Josie Rod about to catch the beats of the boat ring. 10 shot punches to the chest. Grace Fenwick says she enjoys this too much. She said it in a certain way I'm not allowed to use on YouTube. Anyway, Josie gets a hold of Grace Fenwick head first into the turnbuckle. Grace Fenwick counters, finds her way out. Opens up with a set of kicks. Josie backs off hard. Grace Fenwick with Josie up over the shoulders. Josie counters with some elbows. Backs Grace Fenwick off, gets a hold of her. Hard whip to the corner. And whoa, look at this, a clothesline, and just pitched her out center ring. Josie covers and hooks the leg. But Jessica Goldman right there to break up the party. Oh, man. This one's been wild so far, huh? Josie, trash talking, catches a back body drop from Grace Manwick, who looks like she's in big trouble. Grace lifts to the corner, catches a poke in the chops from Josie, and now a series of driving shoulders into the midsection. And now a little choky time for Grace Manwick. The shoe being on the other foot, this girl getting a taste of her own medicine. Come on, Josie Rivera. Lapping it up from the crowd as Jessica Goldman's brought in on the tag. She charges, nails Josie with a kick to the head. A kick to the leg followed up by Jessica Goldman. Goldman with a kick to the back. And Josie Rod. A rebound off the rope, a knee to the head. Josie suddenly finding herself on the receiving end of the bad business here as Jessica Goldman gathers her up. Gets a hold of her. Hard whip to the opposing team's corner for Josie, who catches a series of driving knees into the head from Jessica Goldman. Josie puts on the brakes here. Got her by the foot. Slams her down. Josie turns Goldman over. Gathers her up to her feet and a discus punch. Takes her right back down again. Josie gathers her up. Oh, man. Ripcord knee to the head for Jessica Goldman. Josie quickly covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2, no, barely just a 2, like a 1.9. Josie has to start all over again. Trash talking Jessica Goldman. She charges, drives a knee into Goldman's head. Man, she held on for just a second where she had some hang time. Here comes Grace Manwick on the tag. Josie opens up on Grace Manwick with a series of shots, including an uppercut forearm that takes her down. Josie steps out, steps back in. Not sure what it's about, but okay. She's driving. Josie whips Manwick to Las Reinas corner. Drapes the leg over the middle rope, delivers the calf kick. I'm sorry, that hurts. Josie locks her up, has her up, backbreaker, right across the knee. And here comes Lisa Rivera on the tag. We're about the halfway mark just about now. Still no sign of a winner. Lisa rounds up Grace Fenwick. Fenwick counters with elbows to Lisa. Backs her off a good 3 feet. Gets a hold of her. Hard whip to the far corner. A clothesline takes Lisa down to the canvas. Grace off the middle rope moonsault. Well executed by Grace Fenwick. Grace steps out. Here comes Jessica Goldman again. This one's gone back and forth quite a while now. Goldman with a kick to Lisa. Lisa whip to the ropes. Goldman ducks under. Flying punch. Takes Lisa down. Here's a cover from Goldman. 1, 2. Get up. Now. Oh, slapped her hand away and kicked her in the head. Lisa gets a hold of her. Ripcord knee to the head. Another cover. Another hook. 1, 2. But again, man, nobody giving up around her. Lisa steps out, turns it over to Josie. Josie Rod locks up Goldman. Whips her to the ropes. Drives the knee right into the head again. She's taking far too many of those. Well, look at this. Lisa turns it back over. Josie Rivera rounds her up hard. Right, takes her down again. Jessica Goldman has taken a lot of shots to the head. Here's a kick to the midsection. Here we go. The flatliner. The Guns family trademark right there. 1. But Grace Fenwick breaking it up. It probably was going to be the end had she not been there to save the day. Josie gets a hold of her. Tags her all right. Goes out onto the apron. Look at this. Lisa Rivera going after Jessica Goldman as Grace Fenwick lands hard on the lip of the apron. Jessica Goldman favoring the knee. Looks like Lisa did a little bit of damage there. Josie rounds her up. Locks Goldman up. Rolls her back inside the ring. Well, this one got frantic real quick. Josie all the way up on the top. Drops the elbow across the chest of Jessica Goldman. And a little bit of bitty bitty bomb bomb from Las Reinas. How about that? Well, now. Oh! Hard shot right in the baby maker from Josie. Another Guns family trademark, the low shot. Goldman counters, escapes the corner, tries for the discus punch. Josie rebuffs it. Gets a hold of Goldman again, takes her to the opposing far corner, slams her head into the turnbuckle. Opens up with a series of hard rights. Down goes Goldman, a stomp to the midsection. Another. And this one's been crazy. Lisa Rivera brought in on the tag. Jessica Goldman seated in the far right corner. Whoa! Hard knee to the head from Lisa. Lisa drives Goldman's knee into the canvas. She steps out and tags in Josie again. A lot of frequent tags from Las Reinas, huh? Josie rounds up Jessica Goldman. Hasn't been good for much for the last couple of minutes. Hard whip to the ropes. Another driving knee to the head of Jessica Goldman. Josie covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2. Again, somehow. Jessica Goldman getting that left shoulder up just in the nick of time. Look at Angie Angel Gunn. She can't even believe it. Josie opens up with hard right hands to the head of Jessica Goldman. She's starting to get a little bit frustrated. Jessica Goldman gathered up. Whip to Las Reinas corner again. Here comes Lisa Rivera on the tag. Here comes another double team. Goldman whip to the ropes. Double back body drop as Lisa Rivera takes over for Las Reinas. Sweep of the leg from Jessica Goldman. You might want to think about tagging out at this point. Goldman. Grip toward clothesline to Lisa. Rounds her up. Wrist clutch, knee to the head. And Lisa Rivera suddenly finding herself in trouble here as Jessica Goldman starts to open up. Counter whip to the ropes. Goldman puts on the brakes. Drives a knee into the midsection. Here's another cover. 1. And barely just a 1, almost a 2. This one's been crazy, man. Goldman whips Lisa to the ropes. Here's a wicked strength kick to the head. Yet another cover with a hook. 1, 2, but Josie breaking up the pin. Saves the match for Las Reinas. Lisa rolls out to the floor. Jessica Goldman going to go out after her. Oh, man. Unbelievable, these two. Goldman rounds her up. Drives a series of knees into Lisa's midsection. Jessica Goldman taking her sweet time about getting back inside the ring. The count continues, but here we go. Lisa back in the ring, gets a hold of Jessica Goldman. Rounds her up into a headlock punch. Goes behind on her. Gets her, inverted dragon sweep. Inverted suplex. That was pretty. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. And finally, this one does come to a close with Las Reinas picking up the pinfall win over the UK ladies.
The time, 15 minutes and 38 seconds. Your winners by pinfall, Las Reinas. I've got to fess up about this. When I first heard Las Reinas were coming in, I was cynical about it. More Guns family nepotism from a family with influence going back decades. But now, I see them wrestle along. Hard match. Clearly, Josie and Lisa have those good genes we've heard so much about lately. I think they're gonna fit in just fine once they find their footing.
More Snarl in just a minute.
Believe it or else, Doink the Clown is back again.
Oh, no.
And this time, Myron Schimmelman has signed him to a match against our WL Hall of Famer, the deranged King Ott, in a special appearance tonight.
Ruler of the imaginary kingdom of Rue. I can't wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next special attraction contest is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from under the big top, weighing 248 pounds, Doink the Clown.
Well, the last time we saw Doink the Clown was in April at Global War, and Cactus Jack beat him into a pulp. Well, he's come back again, and I guess Myron Schimmelman's trying to destroy him. He's found every dangerous nut he can find to do it, and tonight he's found one of the most dangerous nuts of all time, the deranged King Ott. I don't believe it. We haven't seen King Ott around here in a couple of years.
He was before my time, but I've heard the name before. Isn't he like, literally, for real, crazy?
He's a Hall of Famer, a 7-time RWL World Heavyweight Champion, and a 5-time Hardcore Champion and at the time Tag Team Champion with his tag team partner, Stone P. Crazy Boy. King Ott was one of the original Dirty 30 roster that became RWL way back in 1998. He's a legend's legend.
Never mind about the mighty, boy, stand up. This is the king.
His opponent accompanied by Chicago Danny Awesome. From Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, weighing 325 pounds, monarch of the Kingdom of Rule, the deranged King Ott.
My main man, Oddie Too Hottie, enjoying a current run as the Japan 5-Star Extreme Wrestling Champion. His Most Royal Majesty, the deranged King Ott, imaginary ruler of the imaginary Kingdom of Rue. His subjects are out there in the stands. Whether you can see him or not, King Ott can see him. As Wally points out, he has done a whole bunch of stuff in RWL over the years. He goes back, way back to the days of Mr. Hercules. So him and Steve Groves go back an awful long way. And yes, he is a little bit on the cuckoo nut side. I think Doink the Clown might be grateful this is not a hardcore match, or he might be going home in a pine box. I'm mad Doink the Clown made it on the card too. I was looking forward to seeing the Canadian Cartel. I hope King Ott rips him a damn new one. Okay, here we go. The ref rings the bell. They come center ring. King Ott gets a hold of Doink the Clown. Squirts Doink to the far corner, head first into the turnbuckle. His Majesty King Ott with a low kick up to the middle rope. And whoa, oh man! Doink the Clown went for a ride right there. King Ott with an overhand right gets a hold of Doink the Clown, has him up over the shoulders. Doink the Clown counters it into a DDT. Chicago Danny Awesome standing ringside on behalf of deranged King Ott. Look at this. By the nose and a disrespectful slap to the face from Doink the Clown to the deranged King Ott. He's going to be grateful this was not a hardcore match. Whoa! Clothesline takes Doink the Clown down. Ott with Doink over the shoulders, takes him to the corner. Take off, head first into the turnbuckle, down goes Doink. Stomp to the midsection from King Ott, and there's another one. His Majesty driving the knee into the chest of Doink the Clown. Deranged King Ott, former multi-time world champion, multi-time hardcore champion, deranged King Ott. I don't believe it. King Ott catches an arm drag from Doink the Clown on the outside. Referee's already counting. Ott gets a hold of Doink, drives him into the ring steps, right past Chicago Danny Awesome. King Ott, he's lit up. He's usually lit up. He's lit up all the time, 24 hours a day. King Ott, all the way up on the top turnbuckle. Doink the Clown to a standing position. Oh! Holy old hell, did you see that? Whoa! Missed Doink the Clown, but there go the barricades. Man. Hip toss from King Ott on Doink the Clown on the outside. Can't believe King Ott did that. Man, that guy's crazy. Doink the Clown catches a rolling senton from King Ott. For a big guy, he can move. 6'6", 325 pounds. He's pretty agile for a crazy old man. Doink the Clown rolls back inside the ring. King Ott makes his way inside behind him. Gets a hold of Doink. German release suplex. Doink went flying. King Ott covers, hooks a leg. 1, 2. Just the 2. Doink the Clown powering out of that one. Shoulder tackle from King Ott. His Majesty on a roll here. Taking a bite out of crime. Out of Doink the Clown. A stomp to the midsection from King Ott. The King with a stomp to the arm of Doink the Clown. Pacing like a caged animal, but stopping to get a little love from the fans. And damn if he don't look exactly like he did when he started all them years ago. He's got the goozle on Doink the Clown. King Ott slams Doink down. Takes the rebound off the rope. Look at this. Oh, little shimmy in the knee. Doink the Clown barely escaping. King Ott caught up by Doink the Clown. Referee checking things out here. Oh, hip toss from King Ott. A stomp to the midsection. Look at this. Vulgar display of power from His Majesty. And his royal subjects in the Kingdom of Rw are all cheering. Wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? Oh, an attempted distraction of some kind.
Maybe he's seeing things, bro. He's nuts.
I'm not sure what's supposed to be going on. But Doink the Clown is sneaking around here. Snuck around to the outside around the corner.
It's another Doink. What the F?
Another, what the hell was that? Is that another Doink? Are you kidding me? Shut up! What in the blue hell will deranged King Ott? Not taking any notice of anything. Just doing a little bit of showboating for the fans. Doink the Clown. Oh, look at this. Oh, here we go. It's a slugfest now between King Ott and Doink the Clown, and I guarantee you, Doink the Clown is going to lose a slugfest with deranged King Ott. That sucker can go. Look at him. Go on. Do it again. He's crazy. I tell you, he's just mad as a March hare. Deranged King Ott with a chop across the chest. Doink counters with a right. Doink catches a kick to the midsection. The argument settled right there. Hard right from deranged King Ott. His Majesty with a kick to the midsection. Here we go. Here it is, the mandible claw. Doink the Clown in big time trouble center ring. Being choked out with the mandible claw. The King releases the hold. Rounds up. Doink the Clown has him by the goozle one more time. Doink the Clown counters with an elbow and escapes. King Ott with a kick to the midsection to Doink the Clown. King Ott with Doink up over the shoulders again. Walks him towards the corner. One more trip into a one more turnbuckle for Doink the Clown. King Ott steps to the outside. I hope he's not going to reach for something. This ain't a hardcore match. Oh, well. He is a bit on the loopy side. King Ott taking himself a couple of trips in and out of the ring. Doink the Clown still stuck in that corner. Just got to his feet. King Ott gets a hold of him. Doink the Clown whips him to the far corner. A forearm right to the face of King Ott as Doink the Clown covers. 1, 2, no! Ott powers out of the pin. Doink the Clown with the advantage at the moment. King Ott down. There's a knee right into the arm of His Majesty. His subjects in the imaginary Kingdom of Rw are cheering him on as Doink the Clown goes behind. Bulldog from Doink the Clown on deranged King Ott. Oh man, a hard forearm right to the face of His Majesty. Doink the Clown trying to hush the crowd here. King Ott back on his feet. Whoa! What a clothesline. Down went Doink. 1, 2, 3, forget about it. It is over.
The time, 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, deranged King Ott.
Oh man, that was beautiful. It is so good to see His Most Royal Majesty back in action one more time tonight against Doink the Clown, and he just knocked him the hell on out. Got himself the 3-count pinfall. Hooray for His Majesty. Still a whole lot of snarl to get through, so stick around, folks. All right, to end the first hour tonight, ladies division action, a non-title matchup with Maurice Ouellette. Set to go one-on-one with women's international champion Angie Angel Guns. More Guns family dynasty in action tonight.
This next ladies contest is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first from Vancouver, British Columbia, Maurice Ouellette. Maurice Ouellette has been off the grid for about a year. Her last outings against American Powers, both individually and in tag matches with Natalya Neidhart. But that's a long time ago. Even before American Powers were Triple Crown champions. And so Maurice, with a hometown advantage, faces women's international champ Angie in this non-title scrap. And her opponent from New York City, she's the reigning RWL Women's International Champion, Angie Angel Guns.
with Angie's appearance in this match, we will have seen the fathers and the daughters of the Guns family bunch. Only one missing tonight was king-size JoJo Guns to complete the set. They're like the Corleone family, and they've held influence with the front office for many years, though of course nothing's ever been proven. And I haven't forgotten Don Roy Caruso showing up recently for a Guns Brothers match.
I was shocked by that too. The Guns family has moved in a lot of new people into their already sizable circle in the past year. Well, nobody's messed with them, but Scott Bell one time. They think Roy Caruso had Bell's car wired to explode. But like you say, no evidence.
Yeah, it was spring last year, the last time we saw Maurice. It was for the Joyce Grable title against Liberty Bell Danielle. Well, let's see how she does against Angie Angel Guns. The referee rings the bell. They come center ring. Angie opens up with a right, a chop, another right. Gets a hold of Maurice. And suplexes. Well, right out of the gate, Angie Angel Guns rounds up Maurice Roulette. Whips her to the ropes. Drives a knee right into the head of Maurice. Angie, hard shot to the midsection. Gets a holdover kick to the midsection, and oh man, DDT. Angie quickly makes her way to the top turnbuckle here. Here we go, elbow right across the chest of Maurice Roulette. Oh man, Maurice not looking too good here in the early goings. Angie drives a knee right into the head of Maurice. Maurice Roulette not mounting a whole lot of offense. Angie Angel Guns just all offense and stomping every available inch of Maurice. Wow. Man. Angie taking a moment to get a little bit of love from the fans in Toronto. Oh, beating up on a Canadian girl, you're not going to get too much love around here. Maurice counters, gets back inside the ring off the apron. Angie has her up over the shoulder, takes a little walk with Maurice Roulette. Head first into the top turnbuckle in the far left corner. Angie Angel Guns putting the boots right to the face of Maurice Roulette. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. One. Just the one. Maurice finds her way out of the pin. Angie rounds her up again, gets a hold of her, winds up the arm, goes behind on her. Oh man. Another suplex from Angie Angel Guns. The women's international champion all the way up on the top turnbuckle. Here we go. Drives the knee right into the chest of Maurice. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Oh, hell no. Maurice unwilling to give up the ship. Angie Angel Guns. All confidence here. Man. Maurice catches another knee. Hasn't been able to get her back up off the what in the blue hell we got going on here? Sonya Deville. Oh, Sonya Deville. Are you kidding me? In relation to Dave Seville with the Chipmunks. Oh, good. Oh, there she is. Sonya Deville with a steel chair crown. Angie Angel Guns and then makes her way out of dodge. Maurice Roulette crawling her way to Angie. Referee getting the chair the hell up out of there. Maurice Roulette is a hot mess. Angie Angel Guns stunned. Here's a cover. One. But just one. Wasn't no way that one arm was going to do the trick. Angie Angel Guns finally back to a standing position. Maurice hits her with a knee, whips her to the ropes. Into a, oh man, a Lou Thesz pressing out, dribbling her head across the canvas like a basketball. A chop, another chop, and a face buster. Maurice Roulette finally mounting some offense here. Here's a kick to the midsection. Oh, she woke up. Here she is, trash talking Angie Angel Guns. After taking a beat down for a nice chunk of this match so far. Angie whipped to the far corner. Rebounded out with a clothesline. Maurice Roulette taking out a little bit of aggression on Angie Angel Guns with a foot to the throat. Well, it's got personal. Well, she's gotten really personal. Out of the Grace Fenwick playbook of sadism. Maurice Roulette humiliating Angie. Angie takes her down with a sweep of the leg. Oh, she's mad. Here we go. Angie Angel Guns drives the knee right into the head of Maurice. Misses with a stomp. Maurice quickly back up. Tags Angie with a series of shots. He's got her by the throat. That's not good. slams her down. Maurice Ouellette finally snapping out of it. Makes her way to the top turnbuckle. Angie 8 laid out center ring. Boom, there's a big crossbody and a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. But no. Angie gets the right shoulder up. Maurice still talking trash to Angie Angel Guns. Not a wise thing to do. Oh, well now. Aren't we getting just a little bit on the personal side, Miss Maurice Ouellette? Well, she does have fans. This is Canada, you know. Angie rounded up to a standing position. Whoa, hard forearm. Drops Angie like a bad habit. She rolls out to the floor. Maurice all the way up on the top turnbuckle. Here we go. Cross-body death from above. For Maurice Ouellette, who is continuing to trash talk Angie Angel Guns. Man, she got nasty about this one. Maurice Ouellette with a hold of Angie by the throat again. Slams her down hard to the floor. Rounds her up again. Angie Angel Guns rolls back inside the ring by Maurice Ouellette. Gonna take the long way home. Makes her way back inside the ring. Angie back to a standing position waiting for her. Oh, look at this. Boy, she's got some moxie. Angie Angel Guns looking at her like, ain't this a... Well, now. Even Angie can't believe it. Head first into the turnbuckle. Maurice countered into the corner by Angie. Charging clothesline, gets a hold of her. He rolls out center ring. Angie covers, puts the leg. 1, 2, 3, shut up! Angie Angel Guns puts this one to bed by pinfall.
The time for minutes and 50 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Angie Angel Guns.
The women's international champion, and her hot streak seems to continue. Well, like Johnny said, she's got good genes. Angie Angel Guns wrapping this one up with Maurice Ouellette pretty quickly. That wraps up the first half of tonight's RWL Sn Rl. Stick around, the second half is coming up right after this brief intermission.